Hey, it's LeVar Love, your local realtor and developer, and I'm here to talk to you about the real on real estate. So, today's topic is common problems when buying distressed properties, right? So, in my head, when I start thinking about distressed properties, that could be foreclosures, auction properties, or the rundown, bad properties that you see with the grass growing up around it. There are really two major things that jump out at me. All right. And I want to talk to you about some of the experiences that I've had as a developer working with these properties. But before I do that, click like, subscribe. I'm putting this great information out here for you guys because I know the next great developer, the next great rehabbers out there. So, what are the two most common issues that I run into when dealing with distressed properties? The first one typically is the condition of the property. Let's talk about that. So, I've walked into distressed properties, ones that had total fire damage. I'm talking about we've had to go in and take out every piece of drywall, take it down to the stud, and then take some of the studs out, take a rafter or two out just because of the fire damage in the property. Or just the opposite. Guess what? It's Chicago. That's Chicagoland area. That's where I work at. And we get flooding like crazy. You want to talk about some wet basements? I'm talking about I've walked into houses that it's been 3 feet of water in the basement. Now, I got a funny story about that. So believe it or not, one of the main reasons that these distressed properties have all of this water damage is because the banks or whoever owns them, they turn your electricity off. And then when you turn the electricity off, the sump pumps in the basement stop working. So over time, while it's distressed and nobody's living there, you get half a foot of water, a foot of water, 2 feet of water, 3 feet of water, standing water in the basement of these distressed houses, simply because they turn the power off. Save that $20, huh? Yeah, how much damage did you create? But anyway, I digress. The next thing is you've got fire damage, you've got water damage. Guess what you have now? Structural damage. That wood, guess what? If it got burned, it could not be structurally sound anymore. If it's got water damage, it starts to rot, especially if it's not pressure treated. You know what pressure treated wood is? Okay, you don't ask me any questions. We'll start talking about that. So if you're new to real estate, don't know about PT, that pressure treated wood, talk to me. But either way, that water, that fire, messing with the 2x4s, messing with the framing, messing with the rafters. Now you have structural damage. So all of these issues create major problems when it comes to distressed properties. Now, you keep listening to me, I'm going to keep putting out information, the things that I'm doing, how I overcome these obstacles when it comes to rehabbing, flipping, developing properties. And you can do it too. Now, number two, what is the second most common issues that I see when it comes to distressed properties? It's real easy. It's purchasing delays, right? You get a contract in, hold on, let me slow down, back up. You find the seller, right? Sometimes it takes a while to find the seller. Is it that bank? Is it an REO? Is it that person that just left and it's abandoned and you can come and buy it for the taxes and things like that are owed on it, but you find that seller. You talk him into, a great contract, you get a good price, whatever the case may be. And now that you have it under contract, it's time to get this baby closed, right? The money, you daddy Warbucks, you got money everywhere. But what happens? The closing gets delayed. And what are the main reasons that delay the closing? The first one that I can think of that pops to mind is not having a clear title. So a while back when there were all of these distressed properties, and they were going from bank to bank and things of this nature, a lot of documents got lost. So when those documents got lost, it was hard for one bank to prove that the transfer of title and deed happened smoothly. And when that happens, it's hard for them to prove that they have clear title. So that is one of the things that will definitely slow up your closing. It's important. It's an important thing to think about when you're buying a distressed property. Don't have a clear title, major closing delays. You know what? I could do a YouTube video just on closing delays. What are maybe the top things that cause these closing delays outside of clear title? I'll tell you. It's you not having your money. So listen, I know there are a lot of people out here talking about no money down and this and private money. I have bought a lot of houses with private money. I've bought a lot of houses with hard money. But the number one thing that jumps out to me about what delays closing is the buyer not having that bread, not having that money put together. So I'm going to tell you, all of you future developers, all of you first-time rehabbers, things of that nature, get your money right. Whatever it might be, whether it's private money, whether it's hard money, whatever the case may be, get it together. Have your proof of funds. Have your down payment or whatever you have to bring to closing. Have all of these things together. Make sure that's taken care of first before you go out here looking for a distressed property. Because the last thing you want to do is go through all of these hoops, do all of these scope of works, budgets, timelines, get a contract, do all of these things, and you don't have your money right. Okay? Very important. Last but not least, here's the reality of it. In today's market, the competition is crazy. Like out here trying to get one of these distressed properties, a lot of times when an REO, and if you don't know what REO is, that's real estate owned by the bank. It's typically a bank property. When it hits the MLS, so when it comes on the MLS, you probably see it on Redfin, Zillow, whatever the case may be. When it hits it, that day, they're getting 20 requests for showings, maybe even 3 or 4 offers, right? It's getting back to the old days. And I remember these days back in the late 90s when they were putting offers in unseen. They wouldn't even go see the property. They just put an offer in. 10,000 over asking. I want it. Give it to me. Listen to me. The competition is nuts out here right now. But I guess that's just byproduct. Prices are going up. Properties are harder to find. There are fewer of them on the market. Competition is crazy. You got to be ready for the dog fight. All right. So those are the 2 most common problems I find when dealing with distressed properties. It's crazy out here. I promise you. But you have to do the work, and it's worth it. All right. If you have any questions, put it down in the box. I'll answer them. I really want to get a community started. I want you to get this information. I've been doing this a while. I want to share the information. I want to see how many people I can help grow that real estate portfolio. Hey, it's LeVar Love, and this is The Real on Real Estate. Have a good one.